Alright, before I start saying anything, is you want to let me know like where you're starting from and like what you think you need improving on?
Okay, not a big PvPer. I got a background more with Mesmer. I had problem with Thief at the beginning, but now it's kind of okay. I think uh, the most frustrating thing for me is like when to jump, like when to steal, when is the best time to steal. To me, the rotation are so kind of okay. I understand the role of the thief, but that's it. I try to avoid the 1v1 or I don't know, like equal force. When to interrupt is quite a bit hard. So that's it.
Okay. Go ahead and pick a side, and I'll just
Okay.
look at your build real quick just to make sure I know like where we are. Okay. So you're running Synchronous build with
Yep.
Improv is Improv is pretty good, but I think you should try out Executioner,
Okay.
unless there's a reason why.
No, not really.
Okay, because I do like Improv, but I think for the build that you're running right now, Executioner is probably better.
Cool.
Yeah, everything else looks good. All right, so obviously, certain matchups you can take 1v1s and stuff, but usually you don't want to, do
Hmm.
1v1s. But I think there's one matchup that you're always gonna have to take, right? And that's the thief versus
Yeah.
thief matchup.
Okay. Even
So,
staff thief?
even staff thief.
Okay.
Actually, I can play staff for you as well, but I'll play DP first, and we'll duel a little bit and see what you're doing wrong in like duel situations versus a thief, because most of the time, like, if it's a thief on the other team, right, and you're both in a team fight, it's actually not your team fighting, you're just like dueling right outside the team fight, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to keep, and we will duel there. And you're running impact strike, right? I forget.
No.
You're running Bassy Venom.
Oh, I got impact strike, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, so just tell me when you're ready, and we'll start.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. You seem to be pretty decent mechanically on Thief, at least. But the couple things to mention are um, not that you did wrong, but that I just noticed when I was dueling you is first of all, um, Shadow Step right is the only Sunbreak that you have right in
Yep.
the your build. Some people sometimes have more, but usually you don't. So when I was dueling you and you kind of like you Shadow Stepped up to this ledge up here,
Yep.
I knew after that that okay, this is when I should use Bassi, right? Like I didn't use Bassi before that because I knew you could just Shadow Step out. So
Force me to reuse it. That's it.
uh,
Because VS a thief, I know it's not a great idea to go on that ledge. You're gonna be jump or
um, the terrain is fine. It actually was pretty good. Like I didn't really need to jump on you there because I knew that you could have ported back and just stun broke again, right? Because it's two stun breaks. So
But I just when I jumped you, it's like I did nothing.
oh, okay. So that's
No damage
another
at all.
thing. When you're trying to stealth open on me, I can actually hear your shadow shots, right? Or I can
Yeah.
see them. I don't have sound on, but I can see them, right? So it's or I can just see when I get blinded, right? So as soon as I get blinded, I know just dodge then because I'll evade the damage, right? Because Shadow Shot is a dual attack, right? So there's two parts to it. There's the blinding from the pistol, and then there's attack from the dagger. So
Okay.
as soon as I see the blind on me, I know I can just dodge and avoid the damage.
Okay.
So you don't always want to open up with Shadow Shot and stealth because you can see it, right? Like if I go in stealth right here, can you see this?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So same thing with Infiltrator's Arrow, right? So obviously when you're in stealth, like I was in stealth less than you, right? So I should have probably like gotten opened on, but like because you were opening up with shadow shot and stuff like that.
And when should I like interrupt? When is the best moment? Is it, I know it's not at the start of the fight. Is it like when you have a ton of boom? Not really, just for the interrupt or to finish? I don't know.
You said steel.
Yep.
Generally, you want to use steel after you've counted a lot of dodges,
Okay.
but
Just for the energy, that's it.
I know you used it right at the start, which wasn't.
Yeah, that was done.
It wasn't like you didn't get too much value out of it because
No.
there was no damage follow up because right you didn't have Bassi Venom, so there's no real way to stun lock me because I can just dodge. You know, right? Daze isn't an actual like hard CC. It's just prevents you from using skills.
I'm not really sure about my impact strike. It's like sometimes it's okay during a battle, but it's really rare that it's really nice because I'm always late for it, or I don't know. Should I use Bazi instead?
For my build, I like. Well, I'm using kind of like your build basically right now, except I have Bassi instead of Impact Strike. Impact Strike is really good for like 2v2 situations, but I think Bassi Venom in like the 1v1 situation is definitely better, and plussing fights as well. Like if you 2v1 someone, Bassi is I think better than Impact Strike.
Okay.
So I don't know. You can keep using Impact Strike. It would just require you to use it differently in a 1v1.
Okay. For the interrupt and not the
Yeah.
stump, or okay. And I saw you on your stream running. I'm not sure about reflexive strike or bandit defense. I don't know, or
Bandit
the
defense?
fist flurry.
Oh yeah, Fist Flurry. Yeah, I'm not using that right now because it's kind of bad in 1v1s.
Okay. I saw you destroy Guardian with this shit.
Oh okay, yeah.
So it's good or not?
Um, that has more to do with me counting cooldowns and stuff,
Okay.
and knowing when to burst, and just having a lot of burst with the Fist Flurry. So like a Guardian with Bassi Venom, it's really good because you can go through unblock. You know it's unblockable. So when you do have Bassy Venom, you can burst them, but you don't really need Fist Flurry to do that. It's just, it's the highest burst skill, so I killed him really fast with it.
Okay.
Alright, so, try to save your Shadow Step as usual.
Yep.
Unless you, like, absolutely need it. Obviously, don't, like, tank damage. Like, if you can prevent yourself from taking a lot of damage by Shadow Stepping, then do that. But try to get some value out of the port back as well, like, by avoiding something else. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Ooh, that was good. Oh, I might be dead here.
Oh shit. Oh, good job.
Yeah, that was pretty close. One thing that I did there is I stole to you while I was in my dodge animation.
Oh.
So, instead
I
of...
didn't know it was even possible.
Yeah, like, what was it? Like, I used the Sharpo 3 while you were attacking me, and then I stole to you because I knew that you couldn't dodge because you were in the Shadow Shot animation, right?
Yep.
So, that's another thing is you want to steal during, like, dead animations. Like, say when I Heartseeker, right, I can't dodge because it's a leap skill. All leap skills, like, say, Revenant, the Malix one where you leap, right? The warrior skills, not the greatsword spin, but like the rush or something, you can steal during those. But you also have to be careful because sometimes like ping messes up with the leap skills, and you'll not steal to them, but you'll interrupt them. So you have to like be careful there. But that's definitely a time that you can steal to someone, is when they're using a skill that they can't interrupt to dodge.
Okay.
Like, say if I'm casting Bassy Venom here, I can still, like, cancel it and dodge, right?
Okay.
But
I understand.
something like a Heartseeker is impossible to dodge while doing it, so... And when I play Staff, you'll see a little bit of that, too.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Oh, steal. It.
Okay. One thing that I did there was, as soon as I saw you put up Bassy Venom, I immediately popped a blind on you, because it'll remove one of your Bassy charges, and I also won't like get stunned, right? So first thing you want to do when you see Bassy is put down black, and obviously black powder, right? It's a blind. Like you shoot a projectile at them that blinds them, and then you put a blind field around yourself. So if they do jump you, then they'll also be in a blind field, right? So you'll blind them, and then they'll be in a blind field, which will be 2 of their charges. Hopefully, you know, they could get 1 charge on you still, but it's better than 2, right? And that's another thing is, since you have 2 charges on Bassi, you kind of want to stun them as long as you can. So you want to use like a skill that has a long, like a long cast time, sort of. Like if I use double strike on you, then I lose 2 charges, right? And I didn't really get any value out of the first charge, right? So like for example, using Heartseeker, like say I Shadow Shot into you with the first charge, and then I'll Heartseeker into the second one. Heartseeker has a really long animation, right? But since you'll be stunned the whole time, it doesn't really matter, right? The only problem with it is that you have a chance to steal to me. But since
So
I Shadow Shot
auto
you,
attack then Heartseeker or what? For the Bassi?
the auto attack would do 2 charges of it because
Yeah.
of the double strike. So like also it's a really safe play to do this, right? Because you can't steal to me because I blinded you, right? So you're stunned and blinded. That's also why sometimes stealing to someone with like you know how you know, you Heartseeker and then steal, right? But instead of doing Heartseeker, you do black powder, and that's actually a lot safer of a play, because what most of these will do when you steal to them, right, is they'll just steal back and you'll be dazed and you can't follow through with your Bassi Venom. But if you blind them, then they're stunned and they can't steal to you, so they literally can only stun break out, right? So say if I do this to you, you're stunned in a blind field, which is pretty rough if you can't move out of it. All right, ready?
2 sec. Yep, ready.
Okay. Which steals up soon.
Oh, nice job.
Did you hear what I said?
Nope.
I said
That
your
my
steals
steal
up
was,
soon.
yeah, that was true.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so
one
that was
second
another
or-
thing that I was doing. Is you know, I don't really actually count like to 20, but like it's just, you know, like
Comparing to yours.
yeah, sort of comparing it to mine too. That's another thing, but I kind of sort of just internalize how long a steal, you know, the cooldown is. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna actually die if I'm next to you, because steal is, you know, you can't really predict it. So I was just kind of like dodging around there until I felt like I was safe from the steal. And like if while I'm doing that, it also kind of makes you lose some value on your steal, because if you can't use steal off cooldown, then it's just kind of sitting there. Anything else that you wanted to mention?
Hmm. Hmm. I'm using my short bow like a little bit clunky. Not sure when to use it. It's like more than do I need a dodge? So I'll switch. But other than that, I'm not sure when to use. When is the best time in a duel?
Cluster bomb is actually a pretty good defensive mechanism because
Okay.
if say you're like spamming shadow shot on me and I'm trying to like dodge it all the time,
Hmm.
what I can do is I can pop a cluster bomb where I used to be and dodge away from the cluster bomb. So you'll be where I used to be, right? And so
Okay.
will the cluster bomb. So you'll eat the cluster bomb to the face while I'm dodging, right? Because you can cast cluster bomb, right? And then you can, while dodging, you can cast the explode thing, right?
Yep. Yep.
So just
Should I use the poison field, like if I know you're gonna jump me to give you weakness or weakness pop too late?
I think it's good, but you don't want to use it too much, right?
Okay. Because it's too
I think you
expensive.
were using it fine there. Just
Okay.
um, yeah, it wasn't that bad. Right, ready?
Yep.
Yeah, the blinding powder steel is a pretty strong opener. Yeah, that's another thing is in thief duels, obviously the opener is a big deal, right?
Yep.
Because you have such a low health pool that if someone gets a big advantage off the opener, then it can just snowball out of control in one direction. So there's a couple openers. Obviously, the blinding powder into the Heartseekers is like the safest one, but it depends a lot on the situation. Like a lot of times you don't really want to spend that much initiative because you do get some while you're in stealth, but it's not ideal. Like if you're in a conquest match to just sit there in stealth for a while, sometimes you need to end the duel as fast as possible sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be times where you'll want to bait someone else into coming out of stealth, right? So that's another thing is like baiting like an opener on you, which I think I did that like the first duel. I did that a lot where I just kind of like sat there in stealth and pretended like I wasn't gonna respond, and I just randomly dodge, and I actually randomly dodged pretty well there.
Okay.
So, um, I don't know. Do you want to practice me opening up on you, or do you want to practice opening up on me?
So should I use uh, like random dodge or more with the short bow?
If you random dodge with the short bow, it's pretty risky because there's dead animation in there too, right?
Yeah.
Because only 60% of it is like dodging animation, and then there's dead animation near the end of it. So, what some people do is they'll dodge into a short bow 3, but you usually don't want a short bow 3 into a dodge because then, like, the middle of the whole dodge animation is, is dead there, which is kind of risky. But if you dodge and then short bow 3, it only puts the dead animation at the very end.
Okay. Yeah, let's try this.
And obviously, you're using withdraw, so that's another dodge,
Yep.
which is a pretty good animation. All right, ready?
Yep.
I think that what I did there was I knew I was winning the duel really, like, I was way ahead in it, so I didn't like pressure you too much because I knew that like I got a really good burst off on you without you using too many of your dodges. So like as soon as I get that dot or that burst on you, you're gonna want to dodge, right, so that you don't die. So what I did was I just backed off and you kind of like were dodging around, anticipating me to attack, and instead I was just kind of waiting around there. So that's kind of how like the in and out playstyle of Thief works there, because like you want to get someone when they don't expect it and then kind of wait for them when they are expecting it. You want to not go in, because if they do expect it, and then you're gonna get, you know, random dodged or something like that. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Get what I did there. Oh, it was I think what I did was I had blind on me, and then I used blinding powder because
yeah, it's the best way to remove it.
yeah, you can remove blind with blind. Like you won't get blinded, but it'll remove my blind, and then I'll be in stealth. The same thing like when you steal from another thief, right? You get the blinding tough thingy, right? That ability puts you in stealth, but it also does like an AoE blind on you. Like, let me steal from you real quick. So it does a range of 120, which is really small. So like, I have to be literally like right here to blind you, but that'll also work just like blinding powder, right? Where it'll clear a blind off of me. So sometimes like you want to get some value off of your blinding powder, and you'll not use it like off in the distance. You'll like use it when someone's right next to you. So you'll kind of take, it's kind of risky to do that, but you'll get more like value out of your skill like that. And the same thing with the thief steal, right? So you can wait till they're right next to you to blind their attack that they're using on you, or clear a blind. And obviously like there are some times in duels where like one thief is just towering over the other one because he keeps like getting blinds off, and the other one can't do anything back because, you know, his attack that's supposed to blind is getting blinded every time. So yeah, just managing those blinds is good. Alright, ready? Ooh, that was a good. Probably dead here. Yep, good job. Also, what I was trying to do there, even though I was getting really wrecked there, is I used the Sharpo 3 to clear the blind. So like the Sharpo 3 is a dodge, but also is an attack, right? So you can be dodging people while clearing blinds on you. It's like sort of what I was saying before, like when one thief has this like a really big advantage on the other because they're blinding the other one's attacks. You can sort of get your momentum back by dodging while clearing a blind, right? With the Sharpo 3.
Okay.
It's just like sort of the flow of like a thief duel, sort of. Goes back and forth. Alright, ready?
Okay, go.
Yeah.
fuck that? The fuck was that? Worst idea.
But did you see how I kind of when you backed off, I used blinding powder, which is a really safe play, right? Because it
Yeah.
blinds you, and then it gets me. I don't have to like Heartseeker straight away into the blinding powder. I can sort of wait for you to do something, and then I Heartseekered at the very end of the blinding powder, as soon as you came back to me. So I had like a defensive play if you came back in too fast, and I also had an offensive play when you did come back in. So blinding powder is really good, but also using it at a really good time is important because it costs 6 initiative, so you don't want to waste it. Ready? Also, don't always use Bassy Venom at the start. I know like in Conquest, like you kind of want to use it while you're traveling to get the cooldown started, but like in a duel, it'll sometimes benefit you to not use it to get the cooldown running. Like you want to bait out their cooldowns, and then when they don't have cooldowns, you want to Bassy so that you can get really big burst on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. What? What hit me?
Those
was back
impacting disruption.
Was what?
Pulmonary impact.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So another trick that you can do that actually really gives you a lot of momentum in a thief duel is when I'll put down the blinding powder, right, and then I'll headshot through it. It's a combo finisher, 100%, I think. Yeah, it is. So I can do this and it'll blind you, and then I'll do this and it'll interrupt you and blind you again. So that's another way to like get a lot of momentum in a duel is by interrupting them and then blinding them, so that like you're sort of like nullifying 2 of their attacks, right? Because one of them is interrupted and then the next one is blinded. And then you weave in auto attacks a lot because they're really good damage, but like, so while you're kind of like preventing them from doing 2 attacks, you're also kind of attacking them with your ones and stuff like that. And your Bassy Venom is gonna run out. Alright, let's just go. I know that you have Bassy up, so I'm just gonna dodge like a million times. And now it's out. Also, notice how like I'm using this like sort of like line of sight here. Like I can still cluster bomb you because it's like an arcing arrow, while I'm still like out of range of like pistols. That was good. But then I came back in because I blinding powdered you while you were next to me, so I removed that blind. Yeah, there was a couple things like you did the headshot trick I just taught you, but like I was already blinded, so it didn't matter. Like it's just a couple of things that you just have to get used to. You're kind of just trying to implement them while like I'm teaching you them, so it's not like second nature to you. But you understand like how to do it and stuff. Like
I think the problem is I have to be like very aware of what boon and condition the opponent have. So it's
That's
not
true.
like pretty natural for me to play Thief, and it's quite a bit to do both at the same time. Because I always feel like I'm gonna die in the next second, so I'm not like aware of these things.
Yeah, that's another thing is like stealing. If I steal first and then you steal right after, it essentially the person who steals second wins because you steal the boons that I gained from stealing. But yeah, these are just like a couple things that it just takes a while to get used to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're trying to focus on a lot of things at once that you're trying to learn, and it's not second nature. But does this like this all make sense to you? Is there any other questions?
No, I think it's pretty cool trick. I read on Meta Battle that when you shadow shot, you should like stow your weapon to get like a bigger burst. I'm not sure to understand.
Okay, so that's basically because Shadow Shot is a dual attack, right? So there's two parts to it. There's the blinding port, and then there's the dagger attack afterwards. But if you're in stealth, you can
Backstab?
Yeah, you can just backstab by just shadow shotting, and then you just spam one basically after you press 3. Is basically
Okay, so I don't have to shadow to stow.
No, you
my
don't have to
weapon.
cancel it. You just
Okay, nice.
go ahead and just try it on me. Just like go in stealth and just
Okay, sorry.
you have to be in stealth though. So yeah, that was it. All right, is there anything else you want to
Perhaps I would like to test against Staff Thief.
Oh, you want to try your staff? Okay.
Yep.
I'll just put on a staff then. Or let me get on my staff thief.